Down around the Virgin Isles, the native girls wear great big smiles. They have a swell philosophy about fishing in the sea of matrimony. When you go fishing for a month, use psychology if you can. Throw your line and dangle your bait, but don't let him have it on the very first date. Throw the little ones back, shoo-shoo, till you find one big enough for you. Fishing, fishing, that's the sport. Watch him wiggle when he gets caught. The bigger he is, the harder it will get to keep him tied up in your net. You may have trouble when you reel him in and find he's gone and left you just a fin. Throw the little ones back, shoo-shoo, till you find one big enough for you. Fishing, fishing, that's the sport. Watch him wiggle when he gets caught. Many an old maid has fished for years, never caught anything, it appears. How does she expect to fill her pan when she uses bait from a rusty old can? Throw the little ones back, shoo-shoo, till you find one big enough for you. Fishing, fishing, that's the sport. Watch him wiggle when he gets caught. Fishermen who have been around give advice that is very sound. They tell the girls that something small is better than nothing at all. So don't throw the little ones back, shoo-shoo. Sometimes they are the best for you. The big ones may weigh more on the scales, but the little ones have those great big tails. Fishing, 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 that's the sport. Sam Levine came from Odessa, where he was a fine pants presser. He really knew to make a crease. Since he improved his education in the field of dancipation, his life took on a brand new lease. It's a scream how Levine does the rumba. You should see how his fat belly shakes. He glides and he yells, ay, 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 caramba. Then at night he complains his back aches. Since he vacations south of the border, everyone has to call him senor. He thinks he's a real caballero. Since he learned what his maracas is for, he really shakes it. The band goes dum-de-yum-dum. Levine goes tie-tri-tie. And then he spins like a top and he forgets when to stop. But her dream taught Levine how to rumba. 'Twas the daughter of Pancho O'Neill. She gave him 6 lessons and her telephone number, and that's how Levine got the feel of the rumba. The band goes dum-dum-dum. Levine goes tie-tri-tie. And then he makes with a break and holly solid J. Oh, Lovey lives the life of each party, 'cause she always seems to be so inspired. He throws his heart and soul into his rumba. Then when he goes home, he says he's too tired to do his duty. His wife complains that her ballroom chic has lost his homework technique. She says her Don Juan don't wanna. He keeps promising mañana. It's a scream. Lovey does the rumba. He's such hot stuff, he sure lets off steam. But his wife says at night she needs radar to get that Loveen on the beam. 'Cause Loveen gives us all to the rumba and leaves nothing for Mrs. Loveen. She needs a border to stand in for Mr. Loveen. Down around the port of Spain lives Senorita, what's her name? She has such a lovely place, and all the windows have curtains of lace. Senorita, what's her name? Senorita, what's her name? Her apartment is never empty. They knock 3 times and say, Jose sent me. Once they say she stowed away on a tramp steamer out in the bay. 50 men were on that ship, and when she left she could still swing hip. Oh, her praise is sweetly sung. She must have eaten oysters when she was young. Fellas come and fellas go. They come real fast, but they go real slow. When she was gleam in Mama's eye, Papa packed up without saying goodbye. But you can tell by her technique, Mama was French and Papa was Greek. Senorita, what's her name? She can make a wild man tame. Once was feller by the name of Sam, went in like lion, came out like lamb. Men who know say it is true. She sure knows the old one too. Like Mr. Hines, she aims to please. 57 variety. Senorita, what's her name? You find her down around the port of Spain. Why go there too far away? Same thing, same price in the USA. Now you've heard my little song. Believe me, there is nothing wrong. Senorita, what's her name? Gives dancing lessons down around the port of Spain. Around Havana, who is getting into whose cabana? Mr. and Mrs. Riley came down from Manhattan, and that's how they met Jose, a handsome young Latin. He showed them the city, made their visit bright. Then suddenly Riley had to leave one night. He left his wife with Jose, 'cause Jose was his friend. And now the question is, where does friendship begin and end? living the life of Riley, while Riley is out of town. He keeps Mrs. Riley occupied, that is easy to see. He is taking Riley's place, but regularly. Jose is looking so smug and smiley. He knows his way around. He takes Mrs. Riley shopping and dining and to dance. He's filling Riley's shoes, but you can tell at a glance that he will never fill his pants. He says Mrs. Riley cooks delish, but I think what he wants doesn't come in a dish. If he ever gets his way, ole, there's gonna be a little cucaracha someday named Jose, Pedro, Pancho, Riley. Jose is living the life of Riley, and everybody knows. He helps himself to her cupcakes. Say, listen, that's no crime. He's in and out of her pantry almost all the time. But that's as far as it ever goes. Oh, Jose may be wily, but nobody else but Riley can swing that old shillelagh for his wild Irish rose. Down on the Isle of West Indies, the natives love to hug and squeeze. And it is said by everyone, the girls there are buxom to buxom fun. Down in the Indies, down in the Indies, they don't wear undies except on Sundays, 'cause Sunday is a day of rest. Now every sailor on these seven seas would like to dock in the West Indies. He's heard so much from the others who've been that he just can't wait till he gets in. Down in the Indies, down in the Indies, they don't wear undies except on Sundays, 'cause Sunday is a day of rest. Down on the Isle of West Indies, it says in all geographies, they don't wear sweaters but they're still well dressed. Girls in sarong show the points of interest. Down in the Indies, down in the Indies, they don't wear undies except on Sundays, 'cause Sunday is a day of rest. The men who grow too tired for their wives, they go down there where the oyster thrives. They soon regain their pep and poise, and then they strut around as cocky as boys. Down in the Indies, down in the Indies, they don't wear undies except on Sundays, for Sunday is a day of rest. The guys from Boston, when they come down here, they always leave a little souvenir. The birth rate rises every week or so, and the kids are named Cabot or Lodge or Schmo. Down in the Indies, down in the Indies, they don't wear undies except on Sundays, for Sunday is a day of rest. They wait till Monday, Sunday is a day of rest. Mr. and Mrs., they live in little village down around Guatemala Bay. They were so happy till one day pretty girlie moving right across the way. Now things are not so okay. Down in Guatemala, Mrs. always holla, pull down the shade, Marie. You ought to be ashamed because you act so bold. The way you walk around, I sure hope you catch cold. My man, he don't enjoy the dinner, you know why. He's watching you and eating, and the spoon goes in his eye. Down in Guatemala, every night she holla, pull down the shade, Marie. Once we were so happy, now it don't make sense. The pasture, it looks greener over the fence. For 20 years my man is satisfied with me. Now he just complains about what he gets for free. Down in Guatemala, every night she holla, pull down the shade, Marie. Oh, I got such trouble, he won't come to bed. He just sit by window with spyglass instead. We never get our homework done, it's easy to see. You are interrupting my peace and harmony. Down in Guatemala, every night she holla, pull down the shade, Marie. It is such big shame, these things you advertise. I have to stand around and watch his temperature rise. He takes one look at you, then goes to work on me. And already we got 13 kids in family. He chased me all around the room. Every night is honeymoon. Pull down his shade, Marie. You make it hard for me. Pull down his shade, Marie. Pull down his shade, Marie. Police. Children will be children. They're such dear little girls and boys. Haven't got a worry in the world except about their toys. Little Susie May, who lives across the way, came to visit us, and this is what she had to say. Johnny's got a yo-yo, he got it from his dad. He always lets me play with it, it's the best toy I ever had. He never lends it out to any other kids in town, 'cause I'm the only one who knows how to get it up and down. I'm older than the other kids and I have been around. Johnny's got a yo-yo, it really is a wow. And teacher keeps him after school so he can show her how. It's shiny and he says it is brand new. And he can do more tricks with it than his dad can do. You can't learn to play with it and just by a wishing. You gotta know how to hold it in the right position by intuition. And Johnny's got a yo-yo, and all the kids they say, if his dad finds out I play with it, there'll be hell to pay. And Jacks and Emmys don't interest me any longer, I confess. Since I played with Johnny's yo-yo, I'm spoiled a bit, I guess. I'm sure I could be happy and life would be divine if I knew that Johnny's yo-yo were mine, oh mine. I've told him I would buy it no matter what the cost, but Johnny says without his yo-yo he'd be lost, and I believe it. Why, it's for yesterday I had it. Oh, it's for the way I feel today. Why, it's for you, forever at it. Oh, means only that it's here to stay. I love it so. Why, it's for your spot his mustache. Oh means only that here comes the end. Put them all together, they spell yo-yo. Believe me, that toy's a boy's best friend. In olden days when mother sang a lullaby, she would sigh, rock-a-bye, baby. Nowadays it's different, and I'll show you how. She serenades her baby now. Your daddy was a soldier and your mommy was a wag. They crossed the sea together and together they came back. Your daddy was so handsome and he looked real sharp and brown, and all the fellas whistled when your mommy went to town. Your daddy was a hero and your mommy was so proud. So baby, hold your head up, hold it high above the crowd. Now you'll be in clover, there's a better world in store. Your daddy was a soldier, your mommy was a wag, and you were worth fighting for. Climb upon my knee, there is more to tell. It ended well, wait till you hear. Though you'll never read it in your history, still you ought to know, my dear. Your daddy tried maneuvers, but your mommy called retreat. Your daddy never faltered, for the victory would be sweet. The position was strategic, it required a well-skilled hand. So on D+23 day, your daddy marched into no man's land. Your mommy lit the fuse, and your daddy popped the gun. That, my little darling, is how it all was done. Now you'll be in clover, there's a better world in store. Your daddy was a soldier, your mommy was a wag, and that's how we won the war. Sailing, sailing over the ocean blue, Davy's got a dinghy, so he paddles his own canoe. He's got the cutest little dinghy in the Navy, and all the girlies know that it's so. The cutest little dinghy in the Navy, they love to watch him go heave-ho. Just for a lark, he went and painted it green. It's the only green dinghy that the girls have ever seen. The cutest little dinghy in the Navy. Heave-ho, heave-ho. Now other sailors take their girls canoeing. It's an old, old Navy technique. But Davy gets more girlies with his dinghy. And what is more, it never springs a leak. Every time it rains, his little dinghy gets wet. But Davy says it's waterproof, so he doesn't fret. The cutest little dinghy in the Navy. Heave-ho, heave-ho. Now I have seen 100 other dinghies, and I'm qualified to remark, he's got the cutest little dinghy in the Navy. Why, I would know it even in the dark. It isn't very long and it isn't very short. It's built for speedy action and it gets him into port. The cutest little dinghy in the Navy. Heave-ho, heave-ho. It isn't very narrow and it isn't very wide, but you should see that thing go in and out with the tide. The cutest little dinghy in the Navy. Heave-ho, heave-ho. To keep it from the girls. Davy says it's very hard. Why, it isn't even safe down at the Navy Yard. The cutest little dinghy in the Navy. Heave-ho, heave-ho. The Admiral has a flagship and the Captain's got a cruiser, but Davy's got a dinghy, it's a lollapalooza. The cutest little dinghy in the Navy, and the old Admiral with her to stay. If he had Davy's dinghy, he would always feel springy. He'd ride the waves night and day. Mr. Brown came home late one night and tried to sneak into bed. Mrs. Brown turned on the light and icily she said, "Tonight you're gonna sleep in the bathtub, Papa. I'm all washed up with you. Tonight you're gonna sleep in the bathtub, Papa. You know what you can do. No more kissing and no romance. Better go and look for your pajama pants. While you stand there and just repent, Mama is gonna pretend that it's Lent. Tonight you're gonna sleep in the bathtub, Papa. I'm all washed up with you." Awake each night and toss and count sheep. I'm ready for love, but you pretend you're asleep. You always leave me all alone on the shelf. I wanna play, but you tell me to play by myself. I'm young and healthy and I'm filled with desire. I'm ready for romance, but you are always tired. You've worked late at the office ever since I was a bride. Could be that you've been getting a little something on the side. Tonight you're gonna sleep in the bathtub, Papa. I'm all washed up with you. You know what you went and done. You went and had your fun, and you know darn well you can't take care of more than one. So tonight you're gonna sleep in the bathtub, Papa. Tune up your motor, give me my quota, or I'm all washed up.